Welcome back. In the blink of an eye, here we are starting off another week. This is the last one in July, if my math, which is always a bit sketchy, is correct or close. 9 days, give or take, for classes to start in McGoffin County and other schools, of course, starting close to that, give or take, and summer is quickly winding down. I've got a forecast for you tonight. A great part of it, the best part of it, basically mirrors your weekend forecast that we just got away from. And we've got some heat and some humidity to deal with until we have a front that rolls in here around midweek, but we've got several days on end thereafter that literally I could have just plug and played the forecast from the end of last weekend, your weekend, and that's a good thing. Headlines tonight include several. We'll talk a bit more about the Tip-Top Tunnel, the millions of dollars which have officially been allocated to see it restored and put to use. A quick reminder about the big basketball clinic tomorrow and the two U-Pike coaches that are going to be there and how it's open for everyone. We'll talk about the ages and much more. The clock has been reset, so to speak, on the election appeal case here with the Kentucky Court of Appeals. I've got a few things that I need to make mention of on behalf of the Civil War Reenactment Committee. They've got some cool things they're raffling off for Community Day in McGoffin County, and probably starting tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Community Day almost every day here on the program. Oh, and if I'd had a penny, if any of us had had a penny for every time it's been shared, we'd have a lot of pennies. Family Dollar had honored the certificate or coupon that we believed was real. Well, their earnings will be taking a big hit. And a local church was robbed to the tune of about $800 and then some. I'm just now learning all that and much more in what's left of the half hour. Beginning in Johnson County, a couple of reports, as the Johnson County Sheriff has been doing for quite some time. They are listing a fugitive of the week, and this week's fugitive has been identified as a 29-year-old, my apologies, woman from Offutt, Kentucky, wanted for 7 active arrest warrants. This week's most wanted fugitive out of Johnson County is 29-year-old Jessica L. Spradlin of Offutt, Kentucky, wanted on 7 active arrest warrants. Some very serious charges, all arrestable, obviously, from felony indictments to misdemeanor bench warrants on theft and drug-related charges as well. Authorities have been searching her for weeks now. In Johnson County, the most serious of charges relate to burglary in the first, and that relates to a case that I reported on months ago that she, as well as other individuals, were accused of theft totaling hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of guns. It was also a same scenario or report that involved a stolen trailer, lumber, and a lot of other items that were recovered by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Dwayne Price confirms to me just a few moments ago that she's also wanted on those other arrest warrants for charges from other counties, including Floyd, on drug and possibly other charges as well. If you have any information on the whereabouts or possible information even of Jessica Lee Spradlin, call the Johnson County Sheriff's Department at 789-3411, and you will, as always, remain anonymous. No major cause of emergency that I'm aware of here in McGoffin County over the course of the weekend. In Johnson County, however, officials were called to a single vehicle accident that involved a fiery collision with an SUV and a home. It happened as the driver and occupants of that vehicle were transporting a can of gasoline that, from what I understand, ignited while they were traveling down Johnson County roads. Sheriff Price says it all happened Saturday night over the course of the weekend when some of his deputies responded to a call of a single vehicle collision with injuries on the Long Road near Industrial Park in Hager Hill. He says it appeared as though an 87 GMC Blazer driven by Charity Donnelly, 39 years of age, of Thialca, caught on fire and then struck a home that sits adjacent to the Long Road. Deputies reported that a full can of gas was being transported inside the vehicle and that the driver reported the can burst into flames, causing her vehicle to strike the home. The West Van Leer Fire Department responded very quickly, and the house did not catch on fire. Charity Donnelly was cited on the scene for failure to maintain insurance, and she, along with 2 others, were taken to medical facilities by the Paintsville EMS Department for burn-related injuries. The collision, he says, is still under investigation by deputies Byron Fairchild and Justin Webb. I've got a moment, so I want to play at least a portion of the interview that I did with head coach Kelly Wells from the University of Pikeville on this past Friday. It serves as a reminder about the Hoops for Hope clinic that takes place over at Johnson Central High School in the morning. This is starting at 9:30 till 12:30. It's free, with the exception of being asked to bring a non-perishable food item with you to donate for the flood relief. Those items taken directly afterwards to the Johnson County Flood Relief Distribution Center, but it starts at 9:30 in the morning. It's for grades 4 to 12, not just in Johnson, but in the surrounding counties area.
Well, to give back, I think, is the biggest thing, and we can't really help others unless we kind of reach the right hand of fellowship out, and I think that's kind of what we want to do in this instance, to give back. The effect of that will be obviously the participation, and hopefully a lot of kids will get some smiles on their faces that are going through some tough times, and the opportunity for them to meet us and have an intimate time there at a basketball camp and learning life things as well as basketball skills are important to us, and this gives us a great opportunity, a great venue to do that.
And not just, of course, to be able to give back to those kids directly who were affected, but we want to encourage all kids to come out and be a part of this. The more the merrier, the more support, the better, right?
Well, that's how you help, indirectly to be able to cheer someone up, to be able to participate in athletics, get their mind off of things, but also to know there's other people that are praying for those issues and also supporting them. And we can do that in many different ways. Basketball's kind of our way to do that, but there's so many other ways to give back in materials and goods and canned foods, and those kind of things are so important. But certainly to know you're supported is probably one of the best ways we can offer that help.
Well, it's obviously a great thing that you and Coach McNamee are taking a part in, but it's also, I think, a bit of a rare occasion, I'm assuming, and it's going to be a wonderful benefit to have you two in the same building for a camp for these young people and some staff, I'm sure. So this is, I'm assuming, is going to be a really great opportunity for these kids, in addition to the cause.
I think so, too. Obviously the main reason, the main venue is to help. But also to get us together in a forum to where we have boys and girls basketball being taught at the same time is kind of rare and unique. But it also shows that how well we get along, and we have the same kind of vision and same basis to do good and also help young people. So hopefully it'll be a great experience for the kids. I know it will be for us and our staffs. And we'll have a few players that'll be there, too. Obviously, most of our players are home for the summer, but we have some local kids that we'll be bringing with us, too.
On that note, this will be my final question for you, Coach. What's going on with the program, and where are you guys at as far as the summer getting geared up for school to start?
We're thrilled to death. The school will be right around the corner, and enrollment starts on the 24th, and that's when kind of all our guys and all our gals get to campus. And we're thrilled about our team. We returned 7 players. Probably 6 of our top 7 are returners, but we also had a very, very good recruiting class with mixed between high school players as well as junior college transfers. So we feel like we've got an opportunity to be great. That's just kind of going to be how hard the kids going to work and how the program kind of moves. But we're extremely excited. We should be one of the top, 6 or 7 teams preseason in the country. And the ultimate goal at the end of this is to be number 1.
Tomorrow morning, 9:30, 3 hours thereafter, grades 4 to 12, McGoffin, Johnson, the surrounding counties, all invited. Please bring a non-perishable food item with you to donate for flood relief efforts. It's going to be a great time. And like you heard, a great opportunity, maybe the one and only opportunity you'll ever have to have Coach McNamee and Coach Wells involved in the same camp at the same time at the same location. Up next, I want to elaborate just a bit on a report that my friend Dalton ran for me in my absence when I was out of the studio a week before last. It was then that the governor made the announcement, one reiterated today by the Transportation Cabinet in District 10, as they have released 12 projects, contracts for which have been awarded, one of those being the nearly $6 million for the Tip Top Tunnel. District 10 of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet today awarded contracts totaling more than $11 million for 12 projects within their district area. Of those closest to home was actually $1.7 million for the project for construction of Phase 3 of the Dawkins Trail in Breathitt County. Work is to be completed by March 31st. I'll elaborate more on that in just a second, and the Tip Top Tunnel project as well. Other items that I see is about $318,000 to resurface about 2.3 miles of Kentucky 705 in Morgan County by the end of November. Also in Breathitt County, about $330,000 for resurfacing for Kentucky 14-19 and Kentucky 18. Here in Magoffin County, about $350,000 to resurface two portions of Kentucky Route 1081. The work also to be done by the end of November. But Governor Beshear just several days ago announced two of these contracts out of those 12, and those dealing specifically with the Dawkins Trail. The one, as I said, for the third and final phase, that construction of about the last 9 miles of the trail from the Tip Top Tunnel to the 1 mile marker just south of Evanston in Breathitt County. That about $1.71 million, and Hinkle Environmental Services was the awardee of that bid, but also the Carver or Tip Top Tunnel, as we most often refer to, which the state lists at about 7/10 of a mile in length, which would make it well over 3,000, close to 4,000 feet in total length. Now, it was always my assumption and understanding that it was closer to 1,500 or 2,000, but nevertheless, it's going to be completed. And, of course, this comes after the fire where vandals, arsonists, if you will, set fire to the tunnel back in 2009. These photographs shared by an advocate of the Tip Top area, Adam Manns, on Facebook. And here you can see this photograph. I believe this one from the Magoffin County side, possibly. Nevertheless, the restoration of the Tip Top Tunnel is going to help capitalize, says the governor, on the opportunity by providing access in what will become the longest rail trail in Kentucky, but the 10th longest rail trail in the entire country, creating one big, long, continuous 36-mile trail accessible to everyone. Here's the tunnel from the other side. You can see where it's collapsed. They are basically going to make a new insert out of steel and other materials and put it in there. It's going to have lighting throughout the entire span, all to the tune of about $6 million. All the work to be completed, or at least scheduled to be completed, by the end of March. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. The clock has been reset again, so to speak, for those of you closely monitoring my coverage and keeping you up to date on the election appeals case as it pertains to the Judge Executive's race here in Magoffin County. You may recall that today's date was the last deadline that I had given you for information that we had obtained from the Kentucky Court of Appeals. And upon calling the court earlier today, we have learned that, again, another deadline has since been set. Today was the day that responses were to have been filed by, in order for judges to then decide whether or not they would rehear the case, but a new pending motion to file a late response has now reset that clock again. After a motion was filed on behalf of Judge Executive Charles Hardin and the Magoffin County Board of Elections to have a rehearing heard in banc, or in bank, which means before the entire Court of Appeals, John Montgomery had until today's date to file a response. However, a petition, or rather a pending motion to file a late response to those motions on behalf of Montgomery has been made in regards to that rehearing request. So it's not expected that there will be anything happening anytime soon. The new deadline goes from 13 days from the time of the filing of that new request, which was on the 23rd. So it looks as though that clock will start ticking again, and we're perhaps a couple of weeks, at least from the 23rd, which was Thursday of last week, before knowing anything else as to whether or not any or all of the members of the Kentucky Court of Appeals will grant a rehearing in the case. A couple of things I need to pass along from our Civil War Reenactment Committee here in Magoffin County. We'll be talking to them very soon, and we'll be talking about Community Day on a daily basis pretty much, starting maybe as soon as tomorrow, as it's just a couple of weeks around the corner. We announced it on the program several days ago, but I'll be starting to push that hard here in the next few days. From our friends at the Civil War Reenactment Committee, of course, they have participated in Community Day now for the past few years, and in an effort to raise funds for other things they have going on, they have a few events set, and they've also got at least one really cool prize and some more things that they're going to give away in an effort to raise funds for Community Day. Randall Reisner of the Civil War Reenactment Committee says that to help further pay for their endeavors, of which they have many throughout the year, and reenactments here in the Magafa County Civil War Committee efforts, they are awarding this new hybrid electric bicycle to a lucky winner during Community Day. This is they couldn't keep their events free to the public without the generous support of the people in the community. And their next event is also a co-sponsorship with the Kiwanis Club, an evening with Mark Twain. Tell you more about that in just a second. They'll be at the IGA, I think, this Friday selling tickets on this electric bicycle. You can contact any member. Randall's on Facebook and the Civil War Reenactment Committee, and he has his own page as well. You can contact him there, get your tickets. It's a really cool electric bike, brand new, I think, and kind of looks a little antiquish, so to speak. There also is antiquish a word. I don't know. I do that often. And also the Magafa County Civil War Committee is going to have these shirts for sale, supporting their reenactments and other events by selling several of these high-quality Ringer T-shirts. Their next event, as I said, with the co-sponsorship of the Kiwanis Club, will be one that you can maybe find out more and even get your T-shirts. And that is coming up as soon as this Saturday night. And it, like all the other events, is free to the public. Admission might be free. Seating might be a bit limited, so you want to show up and get your seat early at the Magafa County Health Department. Now, coming up before Community Day, and actually this coming Saturday, the Kentucky Humanities Council is presenting Robert Brock as Mark Twain, the American icon. This is a performance. It's going to be here in Magafa County, and it's going to be this coming Saturday, 7 p.m. in the Magafa County Health Department. Doors will open at 6. Now, this is sponsored by the Civil War Reenactment Committee and the Kiwanis Club, which means you get to take in this awesome event free of charge. You could maybe make a donation, I'm sure, while there if you would like, but you're not required or asked to do so. But since its inception in 1992, the Kentucky Chautauqua Series has brought to life more than 70 people from Kentucky's past, both famous and unknown. President Lincoln was one that was part of the most recent Civil War reenactment. I showed you a portion of that. This program this Saturday will be Mark Twain, born Samuel Clemens, a powerful observer of human nature, and he, of course, lived from 1835 to 1910. It promises to be a wonderful performance. You can go to the Kentucky Humanities Council if you want to do a little research and get excited. But it is this coming Saturday, once again at 7 at the Magafa County Health Department. I'll put that on the calendar and remind you over the course of the next couple of days. And I'm looking to see where I am. I am at tonight's Magafa County Community Calendar, brought to you by Magafa Farm Bureau. I had one too many Magaffins in there. Of course, our calendar open to the entire viewing area, and that, of course, includes birthdays and anniversaries and the like. One reminder, coming out of Magafa County tonight, the Vacation Bible School is ongoing tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night, tomorrow morning and the next morning. It's 9 to 11 a.m. each day at the Mount Sinai Church. My apologies, there, West Maple Street in Sagersville. If you would like to find out more about becoming a foster parent, an informational meeting is going to be held at the 4th floor of the First Commonwealth Bank in Prestonsburg this Thursday at 5:30. Families of Magafa, Martin, Johnson, Floyd, and Pike County. Classes are free for everyone in that area. Call 349-3122. That is this Thursday, 5:30 in Prestonsburg. I'll remind you tomorrow. And also coming up this weekend, this Friday, actually, Friday night from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., a nighttime fishing tournament sponsored by the Sayersville Fire Department on the Paintsville Lake. A guaranteed payout of at least $1,000, just $100 per boat to enter. Call the fire department at 349-3256 or 791-3256, and call me whenever you've got a calendar or other announcement. We'll run them for free. Tell everyone about them. With all of that, a few other announcements in lieu of tonight's obituary listings brought to you by the Magafa County Funeral Home. Services were held yesterday for Elizabeth Catherine K. Cantrell Arnott, 95, who passed away on the 24th, preceded in death by her husband Harold. She survived by her daughter Sherry K. Holbrook and a host of family and friends. Burial took place at the Bluegrass Cemetery here in Sayersville. Once again, K. Arnott passed away at the age of 95. Services held yesterday in her honor. 65-year-old Jesse Lee Downs of Sayersville passed away on Saturday. He was married to Linda Downs, who preceded him in death. He survived by his son Jesse Paul Downs and daughter Jessica Jones. Visitation has been set for after 6 o'clock tomorrow, and then prior to services, they're going to begin at Wednesday. They're going to be at 2 o'clock on this coming Wednesday with visitation and services, both from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burials are going to be afterwards at the Collinsworth Family Cemetery at White Oak, once again in honor of 65-year-old Jesse Lee Downs of Sayersville. We've also been told tonight of the passing of 63-year-old Eddie Joe Caldwell Sr. of Dotson Branch Road, who passed away on yesterday's date. He was married to Evelyn Jane Sloan Caldwell, who survives, as well as sons surviving Richard Lee, Eddie Joe Jr., and Ernest Caldwell. Daughters surviving are listed as Kathy Mae Caldwell, Rita Mae Howard, and Leanna Sexton. Visitation is going to start after 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, and it'll continue all day Wednesday, and then prior to services, they are set for Thursday morning at 11, all of which from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial will be afterwards at the Patrick Lovely Cemetery on Johnson Fork here in McGoffin County. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. As I said briefly at the top of the program, if I had a penny, if any of us had a penny for every time it had been shared on Facebook and social media earlier today, we'd have a lot of pennies. Might even be able to take off a day or two of work. If Family Dollar was honoring this coupon, which was totally fraudulent, their earnings will be taking a massive hit. It spread so quickly, Family Dollar didn't have a choice but to address the situation. They have put out an official press release through their efforts saying, unfortunately, they've been notified and they're aware about the fake Family Dollar coupon making its way in rounds on social media. Here is what it looks like. You've seen it today. If you've got Facebook, if you're on the internet at all, I would say you've seen it today. It's not real, won't be accepted at any stores. It did promise one heck of a bargain, $50 off any purchase of $55 or more. And that includes just about all products. It said very real looking and, of course, a really good deal. Paying $5 for $55 worth of merchandise. That would be indeed a good deal, but it is fake. And it's not the first time that this coupon in particular has made its way around the internet, but this is the fastest and most, I believe, it has spread. Now, I didn't actually click on it, but I do know enough because I was just afraid to. It's listed as some website that you're directed to, summersavers.com, and once you go there, you're asked to enter information such as your email address, and it has nothing to do with Family Dollar, but it has been shared to the millions of times, I'm sure, today. And you can't hardly get on Facebook without seeing it posted everywhere. Folks were starting to catch on towards the early morning and early afternoon hours, but it was still making its way around the World Wide Web like wildfire. Sorry, nothing to it. You'll have to look a little bit harder to find some really good back-to-school deals. And another top headlines tonight, a burglary at a local church here in Salyersville. It's never easy to say, but it's not the first time, sadly. Probably won't be the last either. But I just learned before airtime from Salyersville City Police Chief Matthew Watson that the Salyersville First Baptist Church was the target of thieves, not once but twice. They tried to get in on one occasion, failed to do so, but came back with a vengeance Wednesday night and then walked out with several hundreds of dollars as they pertain to a campaign to raise money for small children. This was just as I was coming in the studio. I'd actually met Mr. Watson on another call that he was on, and we'll find some more opinions or have some remarks from church members maybe on tomorrow's program, as I'm sure that they'll definitely have one. What I can tell you is that Chief of Police Matthew Watson says that they came into the church and realized that someone had made an attempt to get in one night last week. They worked to remedy that problem, but thieves came back.
7:23, they contacted me about a theft here at the church. They actually made entry through a back door and got into one of the other officers and got approximately 800 plus. Not real sure on the amount, but at least 800 in money. And if anyone has any information, please contact the Sayreville Police Department. church people found some evidence where they tried to come through another set of double doors in the back, but they fixed that problem and thought that would be the end of it, so they didn't call anyone. And now they've had a problem with them coming to another door.
Watson says it's his understanding that it was part of a baby bottle campaign. They were filling, he believed, baby bottles with donations and then using those to help support young children. We'll find out more about the campaign and the loss to the church, but he also says that it's just one of a string or one of the routine cases that he has to open.
And today we received a theft from a motor vehicle up on Route 40, some tools from a vehicle. Officer Jeremiah Watson is doing the investigation on it.
But he agrees, as do I, it's always a little more personal or hits a little harder when you say something to the effect of a church being robbed. Now, of course, we had another church, I believe in eastern Kentucky, robbed of a heating and cooling unit earlier last week or later last week, and it's not the first time. Like I said, won't be the last either, but authorities are hoping that you may have seen someone in the area this time around, and we'll have more on the report tomorrow. Now to wrap it up with your Licking Valley RACC forecast for this Monday the 27th. We've seen a few light showers. No storms to really speak of, but a few light showers. Did knock temperatures down just a bit. Peaked out at 93 here at the studio earlier today. 79 and falling if you're catching the 6 o'clock show. And we'll continue to fall down tonight a few more degrees to, in the end of things, I think close to around... You can tell I'm searching for my forecast. 69. That's where I thought we would be. So we got another 10 degrees to go. Still a slight chance of some showers out there, as you can see. And taking a look outside for myself, I can see some lightly wettened roads. Keep that in mind. And not much to speak of. That's the only way I get to see outside is through the monitor, because once I'm in here and a little bit oblivious until we get the show all done. What I am very well aware of is that we've got some more heat in the forecast, and I'm talking about 90 tomorrow with the heat index creeping above that. Fog started off partly sunny, definitely hot on your Tuesday. 90 degrees, heat indices closer to triple digits, around 98 and 99, and it will feel like 100 degrees out there tomorrow. We will see mostly sunny skies follow on your Wednesday, not quite as brutally hot, but still in the upper 80s with a low of 70, and we still have a threat of some showers, 20% tomorrow, 30% on your Wednesday night. Not so much during the day Wednesday. I think we'll be mostly sunny and clear. By Wednesday night, we get another chance of some showers and storms. And that will carry on over into your Thursday. Watch temperatures start to fall. And once they do, things are going to clear up. We got a front in here that's going to put us around 84, partly sunny, with still a reasonably slight chance of showers and storms on your Thursday to the tune of 30%. By Thursday night, though, we're talking about mostly clear skies and clear conditions by Thursday night, and that trend will carry us on through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with basically sunny skies, low to mid-80s throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The three forecast days that I just spoke of are mirror images within just 1 degree or so from last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Look to be just great for the most part, and absolutely no complaints. And the good news is that even carries into Monday's forecast. A busy day to start off a busy week. Nothing ever changes. We've always got more to talk about. Hope to see you next time for more exclusive news and information right here on Your News Today. As always, thank you for being a part of the show.